know how, this is what I learned, okay? Like, it's really cool because, you see, people aren't peaches. I, I know, right? Okay. So, you know the apple tree. So the apple tree, how it's bearing really heavily this year, and it hasn't, and how they're biennial bearers. So it'll produce a ton of fruit this year, and in exchange for producing any fruit next year. So it's used all its energy now to not produce the fruit spurs for the following year. You can fix that by the baseball bat and stress it out and cause it to even, so it produces an even more moderate amount each year. But peaches are different. So peaches, I was here thinning them because they just produce so many, right? Like way more than it could make big peaches. But as people, we want big peaches, right? We don't want the little ones that are just mostly stone in the center. So we have to thin them. But as I was thinning them, it can grow this many every year, but it's going to grow them just a few. I mean, it's going to grow them small. So for our benefit, we have to thin them. But as I was thinning them, I was really sad. It's really sad because, what about all of the ones that are late bloomers or the little ones that, they look like they might not make it, but they deserve to be given a chance as well. But the tree is going to decide for us sometimes on its own. It's going to abort it on its own and be like, yeah, no, this one's going. It's not going to make it. Right? But who am I? Who am I to judge that this one doesn't get a chance? As much as the one that's big and it's like heavy and I know that one's gonna be delicious, and it doesn't have any signs of disease, but then what about them? Don't they deserve a chance, the weak ones and the small ones, to be loved and given the opportunity? But the truth is, peaches are not people. I know it's such a simple concept, but the peaches are not people.
A few more notes about the peach trees and peaches are not people. Because one of the things about apple trees and peach trees that we were discussing is those mechanisms of how they bear their fruit and where they choose to place their energy. That's all been how they survive. They don't need us in order to survive. But if we just let nature decide what is best, if we just let the apple tree bear fruit heavily one year and not much the following year, and just have it stay on that cycle, the tree will be fine. If we let the peach tree bear millions of peaches and not thin them out, the peach tree will be fine. It's not producing more than it can handle. It always aborts. It aborts some of them on its own so that it isn't so heavy of a load that the tree can't survive. So when we make these adjustments, we truly are just making them for our benefit. But that also means if we don't ever decide and we just let nature take its own course, then we are never casting our vote on what we want. We're just victims of nature, instead of playing a role and saying, hey, I want peaches that are big and juicy and delicious and not all these tiny little ones. Because our desires matter, and 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 the world adjusts to us as much as we must adjust to the world. It is in our benefit not to do things that kill the peach tree. and so we might as well help let the peach tree know, let ourselves play a role. We have a role to play, even if it's just purely for our own benefits. The peach tree gets a home in our gardens and gets cared for, and therefore it benefits too.